Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Justyn. Welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see, I'm back on the tube. It's been quite a minute, but I'm very excited to be back. I missed you guys so much, and I missed creating content. I kind of feel like I'm out of the swing of it a little bit, so please forgive me if I'm kind of awkward or whatever, but trying to get back in the groove of things. So for those who don't know, I did take an over a month-long break from YouTube. Basically, it was just getting to be too much, trying to balance losing weight with documenting everything online, family, things, traveling, my actual job, like everything. It was just way too much. And I noticed that I was getting way too overwhelmed. And also I noticed that I was starting to care more about YouTube itself rather than my actual weight loss journey. Like, I was doing things only for YouTube. So I decided to take myself out of it, which was a very risky thing, I'm not gonna lie. But I will say that without shadow of a doubt, is that how they say that? 100% that was the best decision I could have made for myself. I am so proud of myself and just happy that I decided to take time away. And I'll of course be talking more in this video about what all happened and how I'm doing now. But before I do that, I just want to encourage you guys, if you are in any way overwhelmed with something, take a break. Just take a moment to kind of step back, refocus yourself, and then get right back on into it. All right guys, so whenever I first took my break, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't like as soon as I took my break, I immediately started working on myself, being very productive, all this and that. For a good week and a half, maybe even almost 2 weeks, I wasn't doing anything. I went from having so much to do, it seemed like I never had a break, to y'all, I was bored. Just so bored. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? And it seemed like not only my YouTube dropped, but everything just dropped. I got off of work, so I was on my off week. All the traveling stopped. People stopped calling me. So it was almost like I went from being needed to nobody needed me, nobody wanted to talk to me. And I was just bored. So that was kind of a weird thing, because going from extreme to extreme, you would think that I was complaining that I was so busy and that's why I was overwhelmed. And then on the opposite side, I'm bored, so I should be making better decisions. That didn't really necessarily happen. So part of my boredom was eating out of boredom. So I'm not gonna lie, it did, as far as my eating, it kind of got worse before it got better. So I still continue to eat out, binge eat, snack eat, overeat, just all the wrong things. But this time it was coming not necessarily out of being stressed, but more so out of feeling like I have nothing to do. And I'm gonna just keep it real with you guys. The kind of bored I was is the bored when you have things to do. I could have found things for me to do, I just chose not to do them. I don't think I've actually been bored where I have nothing to do, no bills to pay, nothing going on since I was a child. And I'm sure y'all know what I mean. All right, so after I got outside of the kind of boredom phase, I did kind of try to find sparks of inspiration. And you know what? A part of me felt like something was wrong with me, because if y'all have watched, I did a video on how I basically found out and started Weight Watchers. I'll link it up here and post it down below. But basically, I got inspired pretty much overnight by another member. So I found myself trying to go back to those posts and videos that initially inspired me. And I'm let me hear it again so it can spark that, you know, that energy in me. And I was doing that, and I was noticing that I think because I've gotten so consumed, not consumed, but now I'm not new to WW anymore. Back then I was so new, and it was this new world, and it was just oh my gosh, this whole thing I didn't even know existed. Now I'm aware of all of that. I'm now the one teaching other people and showing other people how to do WW. So I really wasn't feeling that spark anymore, if I'm being honest. So I kind of had to find it in other ways. And it wasn't necessarily Weight Watcher people, but I did come across some people who just sparked joy and made me want to be like a better me. And I know that sounds really cheesy and it's hard for me to describe it, and I don't want to necessarily drop any names because I truly feel like most people aren't going to know who I'm talking about or how it relates or whatever. But just, I don't know, this whole channel is so that maybe somebody else watching it can like follow after me, and I don't know, maybe my experiences will help somebody else. So I guess the whole lesson in this is you don't necessarily have to go back to the same person or thing that once inspired you. You may have to find it from like other sources, you know. So anyway, like I said, I kind of got a little bit of my mojo back, and it kind of just made me want to care more. You know, a couple people commented something that at the time I thought was so freaking rude. I'm gonna have to like go back and find it, but several people said that I don't want it bad enough, or I don't care enough, or something like that. Which honestly, I'm not gonna lie, whenever somebody's going through something, I don't know, it may work for some people, but I'm not the type that likes, what's it called, like tough love. Especially from a stranger. Like maybe if somebody close to me was being like tough with me. Yeah, anyway. But now that I've kind of had time to like just like look back at things and stuff, I do feel like a part of me, when I was gaining all that weight and even after, and I was boohooing and everything, I don't think I did want it bad enough. I felt like at the time, I felt like I truly did want it. Like obviously, I think I wanted the results. I wanted the results. I wanted to lose the weight that I gained and continue to lose weight and feel good about myself and fit into all the cute clothes and take cute pictures and just live my best life. I wanted that, but I didn't want the change that it was gonna take to get to that. So there's a quote, and I've already put it in several videos, but I'm gonna put it up here again. I don't have it right in front of me, but it's basically something along the lines of focus on results and you'll never see change, but if you focus on change, then you'll see results. So I had to kind of realize that and kind of like rework my mind to think of it in that way. So basically, I was focused on the result. I really wanted to feel good again. I wanted to look my best, but did I really want to give up the fast food? Even though it was making me feel really, really crappy? Not necessarily. And also I think a part of it was I got so caught up in eating the same foods all the time and feeling like, I don't know, I was lacking a lot of variety in my diet, and part of me, I didn't want to go back to that. So a part of my like trying to rework myself was allowing myself some variety. So with that, I've been trying out new foods, different recipes, trying to look at things differently. I feel like this is something super important. There's not necessarily one perfect way of thinking about something or going about something. There's not one key roadmap to success, especially with weight loss. I know in the grand scheme of things, in order to lose weight, you have to eat right and exercise. Those are like the two major things. But as far as how you approach it, you can go so many different ways about it. And also I've kind of had to just build up my confidence with the program I'm in. I kind of got like a little sassy in the video where I said I was going to take a break, and I had to just let you guys know, well, not you guys, but I've been getting a lot of people who are just WW haters for whatever reason, and anytime I fail or gain weight or anything, they always blame it on WW because they just do not like it for whatever reason. And I understand it's not for everybody, but it's for me. I like it, I enjoy it. Even if I wasn't affiliated in any way, which technically I'm still not, but if I wasn't an ambassador, or if I wasn't making these videos, or if I wasn't profiting off it in any way, I would still be doing it, because you know what? Before WW, I have tried so many other things, and none of them made as much sense to me, and none of them really worked for me, and none of them were sustainable enough for me to continue going. So I had to just kind of say, like, you know what? I'm always gonna have people say mean things, nasty things, trying to tell me their opinion some way or another, but I have to do what I have to do for myself. So if this is what's working best for me, then really that's my business. And also I feel like I'm just leveling up mentally, like confidently. I have to just know that, you know what, I can't please everybody. And literally this is kind of like one of those things, like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So at the bottom line of everything, you know who I'm gonna please? Me. And you know what? If people like it, they can watch. If people don't like it, All right, anyway, I don't really even know how I got to that point, but so I'm trying to think of what else I can talk about. Oh, so y'all, I did something really daring. I went to a dance class while I was on a break, and I have not been dancing in over 3 years. And for those who don't know, I used to be a dancer, and it's just something I've been wanting to get back into so badly. I can't tell you guys how many dance accounts I follow on Instagram. That's literally all I do. Like, if I'm on my other Instagram account, I am just looking at dance videos all day long, and I have just had the urge to want to dance. And you know what? I've had opportunities in the past come, but I let my shyness or timidness, whatever, kind of keep me from doing it. But long story short, I looked on Instagram one day. I saw this girl that was hosting a class. It was literally for the next day. I was gonna be off. It was pretty cheap. And I was like, you know what? Why not? So guys, I went and I was so freaking nervous, but I had like the best time. And you know how I felt? Like, I've heard people talk about like guys, they'll talk about going to the gym, and yeah, it's painful, and yeah, they're uncomfortable, but it's like therapeutic to them. Like, it makes them feel some kind of high, like lifting weights, or some people say they get that from yoga or running or whatever. Me personally, I have never felt that way in the gym. It sucks. I don't like it. Yeah, I'll do it to make me look good, but do I want to be doing it? No. But when I was dancing, I felt that high. Like, yeah, a part of it was uncomfortable because I am so overweight. I hadn't been dancing in 3 years, so, you know, me just getting back into it, like, it is a physical thing, so me just moving as an overweight person can sometimes be hard. But it was like a hardness that I didn't mind doing, if that makes sense. And I was like, man, like, it motivated me. I would like look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, you know what, I want to get this weight off completely so I can do even more. And I don't know, that just like really pepped me up. And so I'm excited for the next class. We actually had one scheduled for next week, but it got canceled because of, you know what, I'm not even gonna talk about it, but I don't know, it just kind of excited me, and it is something new. So yeah. Also, I don't know if y'all can tell, but your girl got nails. And this is another thing that I haven't had nails like this in 3 years. I actually used to get my nails done all the time in like high school and the beginning of college, but they would always break, and I do not have the patience to go back to the nail salon just for one nail. And also, once I stopped getting them, I like quit looking at my nails as like a necessity. I mean, it's never a necessity, but basically I looked at getting my nails done and getting my hair done as if that wasn't a good thing. Like, I shouldn't spend money on that. That's a waste of money, basically. But I cannot tell you guys how many nail pictures I have saved in my phone because I just love nails. Like, I like the way this looks. I don't have nubs anymore. Literally, I have asked so many girls, oh my gosh, your nails are so pretty, where do you get them done? Like, I have a running list in my phone of nail salons here. And you know what? One day I was like, screw it, I'm gonna get my nails done. And I love the look of it. I will say that I have no idea what I'm doing because everything I grab feels completely different. I'm scared to put my contacts in because I don't know how it's gonna come out. But anyway, all that to say is that I don't feel like I'm changing, but I do feel like a part of me is like leveling up a little bit. Like, I got my nails done. I am taking better care of my skin. I'm starting to go to dance classes now. Like, I just feel like I'm trying to bridge out of my shell a little bit. All right, guys, sorry, my camera just died. I know I didn't know how this video was gonna turn out, but I feel like I've been just like chit-chatting for most of it. But I do want to say that another thing that I've kind of learned and taken the time to really focus on during this break is to give myself grace. That's something that I somewhat understood what people meant when they said that, and I would tell other people to give themselves grace, but yet I wasn't giving myself enough grace. And so for those who don't know what I mean by giving myself grace is allowing myself to fail, kind of just knowing that I'm gonna fail, but then instead of tearing myself down, deciding to pick myself back up. That's something that I really struggled with, and still to this day. I mean, I've gotten better at it, but I don't want y'all to get confused. All of this happiness doesn't mean that I'm like 100% back on track and I'm 100% like better mentally and everything. I mean, it's a journey. It's gonna take me a while, and I don't know if I'll ever be 100% anything. But I do think that as far as with grace, it was so hard for me to give myself grace because I had been struggling so long with trying to lose weight, and I finally found something that worked for me. And I lost a lot of weight in a very quick amount of time. It was almost like once I could finally get my mindset to where it needed to be, there was like no stopping me. And so to lose so much weight so quickly, and to also in the process of losing that weight kind of like gain an audience, you know, cheering me on, watching me do it, but then to have things literally switch and I gained quite a bit of that weight back, it was not only hard, but I don't really know the word. I can just explain it as, y'all, when I was losing that weight, when I was like feeling so strong, like physically and mentally, I genuinely felt like a completely different person than the person I was before. Like I didn't even recognize that girl because I had gotten so strong mentally. So I think for me, going from that mentality to then I kind of slipped up and I started gaining weight, I was so shocked that I allowed myself to get back to that point. I would just say this, and I know people who've lost weight, they will understand this, but whenever you finally do what you need to do to lose this weight, there's something you constantly tell yourself in your mind, and that is, I will never go back. I will never be the person I used to be. I will never allow it to get that bad again. I will never, ever let it get to that point. And that's something that I always told myself as I was losing the weight. It wasn't even a question. I knew I am never, ever going back. So when I did, I think it was just such a shock. It was embarrassing. Not only, obviously it's embarrassing because I'm putting all my business out and everybody knows and sees, but also it was just embarrassing to me because I'm like, how? Now it was, I'm never this and I'm never that, and now it's like, how could I let this happen? How did I get back to this point? And then it was even harder because I thought it would be as easy as the first time, or I don't want to say easy, but I thought it would, like, y'all, when I tell you I went one day, day and night, like this day I'm binging, the next day I'm on Weight Watchers and I lost 70 pounds. That's how it was for me. It was a very quick turnover, quick switch in my brain. I thought it would be that easy again. And I thought, okay, well, tomorrow I'm just gonna start. I thought the new year, 2020, was gonna force me to get back on track. And clearly we know that didn't happen, and it almost made it even worse, to be honest. Because instead of me actually addressing what was going on, I just kind of hid it and made it worse by trying to pretend like I was okay, or maybe if I believe that I'm okay, then I really will be okay. But it turned out I wasn't okay, and it was gonna take more work this time. It wasn't an easy switch. Weight Watchers was no longer this new shiny thing that's just gonna come in and save the day, because I had been on it for a while. I already know everything about it. Anyway, all that to say is that I do believe that's kind of why I had a very hard time giving myself grace. And that is why I was very hard on myself. And still to this day, like, I'm getting better at it, but I'm not necessarily 100%. But something I've had to tell myself is that if I would give a certain piece of advice to somebody else, I also need to take that in for myself. So I would never tell somebody to make themselves feel like crap for gaining weight. I have people in my messages and DMs all the time. They're upset because they saw a gain on the scale, or they've kind of just fell off track and they just don't know what to do. I would never, and I'm pretty sure nobody would ever tell that person, well, you know what, cry, dig yourself into a hole, feel sorry for yourself, you're worthless, you're a loser. Like, all these things I was telling myself, I would never tell somebody else to say that to themselves. So it's almost like the ugly thing. Like, if I would never call somebody ugly, so I should never call myself ugly. Like, I shouldn't be telling myself these things, basically. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, basically I have tried really hard to learn to give myself grace. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure a majority of you guys, I've just been chit-chatting, but a majority of you guys just want to know, have you lost weight? How are you doing now? So to answer the first question, I have lost weight and I'm really happy. I'm excited for myself. It hasn't been like an extreme crazy amount. I definitely haven't lost the entire 40 pounds that I gained, but I do feel like it's been like an appropriate, more normal amount. I'm definitely not dropping 7, 5, 4 pounds every single week like I was in the beginning, but I also think it's because I'm approaching it differently. And right now I am feeling like I need more food. Before, I don't know if I've ever really talked about this, but when I first started Weight Watchers, I, for one, would never go into my weeklies. But for two, I always left at least like 9 points at the end of the day. I made sure I ate enough to get my blue dot, but it was very, very rare that I ate all of my points. So you kind of have to be on Weight Watchers to know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but long story short, I was eating at even more of a shortage than what was required for me to lose weight, and that probably had a lot to do with why I was losing so much weight at the pace that I was losing it at. But now it's not that easy for me to do that. I eat all of my points. I am going into my weeklies, which is okay. The program is designed for you to still be able to lose weight like that, but it's going to take obviously longer. And I've just come to terms with, you know what, that's okay. I would honestly rather lose the weight slower if that means that I can actually let my body adjust a little bit slower, and also let the mentality part of it kind of work itself out a little bit more in my favor, rather than feeling like I have to quickly do it and I'm on a time frame. Like, I don't know why I felt like I had to lose the weight in a certain amount of time. I had it stuck in my brain that I had to lose 100 pounds in a year, and y'all just don't know. I gave myself so much crap that I didn't reach that goal. I was so upset, even though I had lost 70 something pounds, because I didn't lose that big 100. I felt like that 70 pounds didn't mean nearly as much. And yeah, that would have been a cool thing to say, like, oh, I lost 100 pounds in a year. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Like, yeah, it may be good for views and good for like just to say it, but who really cares? Anywho, I believe that's it. I'm trying to check my notes. Okay, so I do have just a couple of more things I want to say. So officially, as of like maybe 3 weeks ago, I am no longer weighing myself on Saturdays. I just constantly felt like I was running into issues with that. So my new weigh-in days are on Fridays. I personally feel like that's gonna work better for me, because I would always have it happen to where on Fridays somebody would come to town or I would go out of town. Friday's like the start to the weekend, and I would basically always, well, not always, but a lot of times I would like sabotage myself by going out to eat with somebody or just whatever, because it's Friday, it's the weekend, and then the very next morning, on Saturday morning, I have to weigh in. So I figured it would be smarter for me to push my weigh-in to Friday, so I can still enjoy my Friday. I can like weigh in the morning, enjoy my Friday, maybe even enjoy my Saturday, but get right back on it. So yeah, you will see in my next weigh-in that will be reflected on that. Also, speaking of my weigh-in, I am not personally going to disclose my current weight right off the bat. I think that part of the pressure and stress that I was receiving was feeling like I had to live up to people's expectations, but also just my own expectations that I was putting up for myself. And so for right now, it's just something I would rather keep to myself. I will, whenever the next weigh-in is, I'm gonna have so many dates to like inform you guys on, but so whenever that time comes, it'll come. For right now, you'll just have to take my word for it. I have lost weight. Yeah. And also another thing is that I have also made the executive decision to, and I kind of already touched up on this on my last video, but I am going to be not stopping, but definitely minimizing the amount of DMs I respond to. And I really, it like kills me to do this because I do not want people to take it personally. And I don't want to be that person who doesn't respond, because I took so much pride in myself for responding like for so long. But at this point, it's like too much, and it's also messing with like my psyche, if you want to call it that. And like I said, I don't think I'm gonna stop it completely, but I'm just gonna have to, like, I don't want this to sound selfish, but I'm gonna have to make sure I take care of myself before I can really, not really take care of other people, but I guess help other people. So that being said, like I've said before, I get like so many paragraphs and messages on messages of people needing help, wanting to help. And before, I would give so much of my energy to every individual person. Like, I would want people to know, I am here for you, I understand you, I've been in your position, here's what I think might could help, yada yada yada, whatever. But it just takes, for one, it takes too much time to do that, and for another, it does take too much energy. And I don't want it to seem like I'm just being lazy, but I mean energy that by the end of it, it makes me feel like, I don't know, it doesn't make me feel good. And I've gotten the question before of whether or not I would want to be a WW like guide, coach, whatever, or just a regular coach, like a weight loss coach, something like that. And I've always said no. I respect coaches, but I personally don't feel like that's my place. You know, that's not something that brings me joy. I personally like this. I like filming videos. Like, y'all, I am a Virgo. I'm very socially awkward. I like being in the comfort of my own home talking to a camera, and then I kind of just like pretend that I don't know that other people are watching. And it shocks me every single time somebody comes up to me in person and tells me that they watch my videos, because I just pretend like, I don't know, in my mind nobody's watching this, and that's what allows me to speak freely. So I personally don't feel like the one-on-one coaching is my place. And I feel like there's so many people who do like that, who do thrive off of that, that it would be better suited for them to maybe help you in a more individual basis. For me, it's always been, this is just me showing my journey, and if it inspires somebody, if somebody likes it, if somebody thinks that they can do it too, then cool, we could all do it together. But I don't know, it's never been that I'm trying to, I feel like I don't even know enough to be a coach. I literally only have my own experience to go off of, and there's so much more out there, so I don't want to get too much into that. But basically, long story short, I think I am going to be limiting the amount of DMs, and I just want to go ahead and say it now so that people don't get mad at me. And please do not take it personal. It's not only you, it's a lot of people. And also, guys, I have another job too. I'm kind of like jealous of some of the other Weight Watcher girls who are stay-at-home wives and moms, and they can do this full time. But it is so overwhelming to me if I just post a video and I immediately have like 20 messages in my inbox. Like, just seeing the number in my DM that I have messages waiting for me to look at, that freaks me out. So I hope that makes sense. Don't get mad at me. I will still be answering like simple questions. I'm cool with that. It's just like the long questions that I don't necessarily know the answer to. But I will recommend you guys that if you are a part of Weight Watchers, take advantage of the 24-hour chat in our app. Literally, there are people on there, that's their job. That's what they are there for. That is what they signed up for. So even if you have a simple question or a more dramatic question, or even if you don't even have a question, you just need encouragement, you just need somebody to lift you up, go to the app, take advantage of those people. They are like trained to be there for you, and they are more trained to deal with people on a more individual basis, whereas I am not. So guys, I am sure I'm leaving out a lot. I had like a whole plethora of things I wanted to talk about, but I already know this video is way too long. I'm excited to be back. I am going to be back to my normal posting schedule. So as of right now, I'm going to be posting twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. I'm gonna try my best to do it at the same time. I don't know exactly when that is, but it's gonna be around 2 or 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And before I get off of here, I want to say thank you guys so much for the people who have been keeping up with me, even outside of YouTube. Obviously, I haven't been on here, but there have been a lot of people just checking up with me, trying to see like where my head is at and stuff. Also, when I went through that like boredom phase, I just kind of switched from YouTube to Instagram because I still wanted to talk to you guys, and I had so many people showing me love on there. So thank you guys so much, and I'm excited to be back. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know down below in the comments how you are doing. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And as always, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on this journey, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.